Live high above the gymnasium floor here on the campus of Valparaiso High School in beautiful Valparaiso, Indiana. This is boys basketball live on PC3 and the Heartland Sports Network. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Fleischman. On my right is Vincent LaFollette. We've got Luke Powers hanging out with us. Gianna Zikos is down on the sidelines. Henry Sikowski is keeping score. Josh and Rich are producing our broadcast, and we are thrilled that you are with us tonight. We have non-conference action, second game of the season for a couple of really good teams in the region. The East Chicago Central Cardinals are in the gym to take on the Valparaiso Vikings. Let's set the table for tonight's action. First for the visitors, the East Chicago Central Cardinals 1-0, yet to play their first game in the Great Lakes Conference. For a fourth-year head coach, Alam Murwi, 54 wins against 16 losses coming into his fourth season. He starts out the season with a win against Gary Lighthouse, 65-58. Lighthouse made it a game in the third quarter, but the East Chicago Central Cardinals forced 23 Lighthouse turnovers and outscored the Lighthouse team 13-8 in the fourth quarter to come out with the win. On the other side of this matchup, the Valparaiso Vikings, they're 1-0 after a fantastic, a little bit of a nail-biter overtime victory, 67-66 at Gary Westside against the tough Cougars last time out. Coach Ben Liskey enters his third season with a record of 30 wins and 22 losses overall. Valpo versus East Chicago tonight. Vincent LaFollette, it is first of all fantastic to be inside a nice warm gym when it's cold outside, getting to watch some basketball, and both these teams hoping to make a great first impression on the season here.
Oh yeah, so now we're going to go to some of our keys of the game.
We'll take a look at some of the keys to the game for both sides. Let's start with the Chicago Central Cardinals. They've got to convert their open looks tonight. East Chicago, like a lot of teams, lost a lot of talent last year. Dominic Murphy has moved on, so they've got to shoot the ball, and they've got to get these young guys involved quickly. They have to be patient, and they have to make Valpo make mistakes. East Chicago is a team that can turn up the tempo, but it might not always be the time to turn up the tempo on these Valparaiso Vikings. Let's flip it over on the other side and take a look at what's important for Valparaiso tonight and keys to the game. They've got to handle that East Chicago pressure. They have got to move the ball around and make sure that they are finding open looks, and they have got to make sure that they're getting everyone involved. They've got to limit the turnovers, because we can see what East Chicago Central does when we take a look at how they did against Lighthouse, forcing those 23 turnovers. Guy that we're really looking for as far as the Valparaiso Vikings is Maddox Wagner. He's a 6'8 junior, averaging 6 points and 4 rebounds a game. Our keys to the game tonight brought to us by Play It Again Sports. Big thanks to all of our sponsors here on PC3 and the Heartland Sports Network. So we've got a beautiful night. We've got two teams that really want to get off to a good start tonight. We've got the Vikings looking forward to a tough Duneland Athletic Conference schedule, and the East Chicago Central Cardinals. It's always fun to watch a team like East Chicago. Dominic Murphy was a really great player, like a real all-region kind of guy for them last year. But this year, they've got Jamari Pollard leading the way, and it's always a matter of building confidence early and getting off to that good start on the road. And they proved that they could do that at Gary Lighthouse, and they're looking for it again here today. So I tell you what, let's have some fun and let's watch some basketball tonight.
Heck yeah.
Sweet. Taking a look at Maddox Wagner, one of the key scorers. He's a Parlor Donuts player to watch for the Valparaiso Vikings. Averaged about 6 points, 4 rebounds last year. Shot from the field at a 55% clip. He was also good from the free throw line, 78% from the line for Maddox Wagner, but the sample size was a little low. He only made 32 free throws over the course of last year, a year that saw Valparaiso go 10-15. And so the challenge for Maddox Wagner is to make sure that he's using his size productively and getting to the line. I'd like to see that 78% number that he set as a sophomore in the free throws go up as we go along here. I'd like to see him get above 80%. We've got some other good games going on here around the region. We're going to take a look at them right now.
Yep, and we're going to have Gianna go through some of these throughout the game. Just talk about them, talk through them, and analyze. So we got the Penn Kingsmen going up against Crown Point. Then we got the Michigan City Wolves going against Gary Westside Cougars. And South Bend Joseph Huskies going against Chesterton Trojans.
I've got my eye in particular on that Gary Westside Michigan City matchup. That's going to be one of the more exciting games that's played in the entire state of Indiana tonight. Michigan City, a team that panted at 94 fast. And we have got the national anthem, so we're going to take a
cheer with passion and appreciate the efforts of the players, coaches, and officials. Let's make this game a showcase of the best qualities in each and every one of us. And now we ask that you please stand as you are able as we honor America and all those who protect and defend our freedoms with the playing of our national anthem.
Time to meet our starting lineups here. There is a fantastic crowd.
And here comes our starting lineups.
The Valpo cheerleaders bring the flags across the court. Lots of green on the far side. Lots of East Chicago Central fans here as well. A fantastic gymnasium. Vince and I haven't been in here in a couple of years, I'll admit that, and the improvements that they have been doing here at Valparaiso High School, always fun to look at. And this gym, so much brighter. You can see it on our beautiful camera pictures as well. Let's meet our starting lineups here. First for the Cardinals.
A 6-foot senior, number 1, Jamari Pollard. A 5'11" freshman, number 2, Kai Gillis. A 6'1" senior, number 4, Javon Lord. A 6'2" senior, number 10, Joseph Watkins Jr. And a 6'4" senior, number 45, Lance Jackson. The Cardinals are coached by Allah Royway, assisted by Jeremiah Ochoa and Jamal Garrett. Wagner. And a 6'9"
Chicago Central Cardinals in the road blue uniforms, Pollard, Gillis, Wofford, Watkins, and Jackson. Jamari Pollard coming off a 20-point effort in the win against Gary Lighthouse back before Thanksgiving. Redmond, Jankowski, Reeves, Wagner, and McConaughey, the 5 in white for Ben Liskey and company. 18 points for Maddox Wagner in the win against Gary Westside, a 67-66 overtime win. Coach Liskey very pleased with how his team performed on the road and says that they need to handle the pressure tonight just as well as they did in that win against Gary Lighthouse. Valparaiso wins the tip, and we'll get things started. Jankowski, the sophomore, will start on the wing. Maddox Wagner has a little bit of trouble on his first bounce. He'll keep it back and put it into the corner. Corbin McConaughey, 6'9", as a junior last year, averaged 2 points, 3 boards a game, and they're looking for more offense from him this year as a senior. Patience for Valparaiso as Jankowski takes a look. Now Maddox Wagner, he is going to be the #1 option, and you can see why right there. Maddox Wagner, 6'8" junior, but he is good on the drive, draws the foul. That's the first on Watkins and the first on the East Chicago Central Cardinals. No shots, so a baseline out of bounds.
Yeah, and we saw some great defensive pressure by Joseph Watkins Jr. to force that ball out, and now they're bringing it back up the court.
We see it again, first turnover of the night. Wofford is blocked by Maddox Wagner in transition. So East Chicago Central forces the turnover, get it right back to the Vikings, and Levon Redmond scores our first 2 of the game. East Chicago, first legitimate setup on offense, and that's tipped immediately by Redmond. Redmond active early, and it's pilfered right back by Jamari Pollard. Open 3 in the flow of the offense right there, no good for Joseph Watkins Jr. Jankowski will push it up, and now Valparaiso will enter it to McConaughey.
And we saw Pollard take that ball back. He had 5 steals in their first game. I would look forward to seeing him play some great defense tonight.
You see it right there. Second turnover forced by East Chicago. Here the other way come the East Chicago Central Cardinals, down 2-0. Javon Wofford, 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, filled up the score sheet in that win against Lighthouse. Feed it inside to the big man, and Lance Jackson is shut down inside. Maddox Wagner has shown up on the defensive side of this game a couple of times in early going first quarter.
Yeah, Maddox Wagner and Corbin McConaughey, they have the height advantage over some of the East Chicago's bigs, so we might see that play a role in today's game.
Open look for Reeves, doesn't go down. Transition on the other direction, and down it goes for Jamari Pollard. Jamari Pollard, you got to talk about a good position to be in. Pollard watched Dominique Murphy and company and learned from them over the years. Dominique Murphy, no longer part of the team. He was a crucial factor in East Chicago's big win against Valpo last year. And now Jamari Pollard finds himself as a senior and leading this East Chicago team on the court. #1, the 6-foot senior.
Yeah, and I would look to watch Pollard really just lead the team on offense and on defense. He hustles on all the defensive possessions, forcing turnovers, getting steals, and I look forward to seeing a few of those today.
Makai Gillis, the man on the foul, and another turnover for Valparaiso. The other direction we go for Wofford. He's going to kick it into the corner, and it's Makai Gillis hitting the game's first 3. Watch out, you got to guard up Makai Gillis. He was 4 of 5 from downtown in the win against Lighthouse.
And that looks like a moving screen on Valparaiso.
We'll sort that out, and it is Corbin McConaughey picking up his foul, the foul his first team's first. Alan Murray loves it, and the East Chicago bench is fired up. So across the timeline comes the 5'11" freshman Makai Gillis. Taking a look is Watkins. 5 minutes left, first period. Gillis, little drive and kick. Watkins thought about traveling. Now he's all bottled up at the elbow. Go into the post for the big man, and that time it works for Lance Jackson. Jackson decisive before the help arrives. All bottled up is the sophomore Jankowski on the handle, and then East Chicago is going to bail him out with a bit of a foul. They're going to get Wofford with the foul. Javon Wofford, a 6'1" senior. And that's already 3 team fouls on East Chicago.
And yeah, Yeah, East Chicago's really got to watch the fouls. That could get them into trouble as we progress in this game.
In off the bench, wearing number 2 is the 5'8" freshman Nikola Karras for the Valpo Vikings. There's the sophomore with the scooping layup attempt. Will not go. Karras, the offensive rebound, no. McConaughey, the third attempt, And underneath, Wofford is going to get fouled. Valpo was trying to stay with it, but to no avail that time.
Yeah, in situations like that, I really want to see Valpo just bring the ball down on rebounds like that and just keep it under control, kind of gather themselves so that they can get a better look than that.
That's the second foul on McConaughey, so the 6'9" senior goes to the bench early. And this will mean that Ben Liskey is going to have to look for some other answers. They'll bring in 6'2" senior Davon Williams.
Yeah, now we'll see Maddox Wagner kind of play more of a center role for them, which he can do as he proved last time out.
That should be a good matchup. Maddox Wagner on the 6'4" big Lance Jackson for East Chicago Central. Gillis across the timeline, hand it to Pollard. Watkins flips it back to the far side. Couple of savvy ball fakes. Baseline 2 will not go down. A little bit of a scrap for the rebound underneath, and that'll be Valparaiso basketball. Getting in there, mixing it up is Wofford, but he could not quite get a handle on it.
Maddox Wagner really did a good job helping to contest that shot, which did play a role in that miss, I think, and then he also gave some trouble for the rebound, leading to Valpo gaining possession after that ball went out of bounds.
7-2 is the advantage for the East Chicago Central Cardinals. Nice move by Jankowski. He is right down Main Street, left it short. Wagner tipping the rebound around. It's tracked down. Valparaiso with more second chance opportunities. The 3 from Crias, no. And the rebound to Lance Jackson.
Yeah, and if they'd have gone one more over, they could have had an easy pass into maybe a more wide open look.
Working around to the far side is Watkins. Watkins into a triple team. That is rejected by Davon Williams. Immediate impact off the bench for Williams as McConaughey sat with the foul. This pass is very optimistic and saved underneath. Kick it out to the man who saved it for 3. Splash for Jankowski. Jankowski scored 16 with 4 made three-pointers in the win against Gary West. Made a hustle play to save the possession and then cashed it in.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him play a lot more under control this possession right here.
Quick shot contested, but it's tipped up and in. I'm going to give that basket to Jackson for the moment. Timeout on the court, 3:02 remains. And Alamurwi is going to talk things over. We'll take a timeout right along with them. Back after this for more right here on PC3 and the Heartland Sports Network.
Sometimes your cravings call for something different. So Parlor went savory with their classic donuts. With 6 new flavors that include chicken bacon ranch, Hawaiian barbecue chicken, pig and fig, OG pepperoni, buffalo chicken, and margarita. They're delicious, unexpected, handcrafted, and perfect for when you want a donut, but not all that sugar. They're everything you know and love about Parlor's signature donuts, but with a yummy savory twist. So come to Parlor Donuts and try out the new savory donuts.
Beautiful gymnasium here from Valparaiso, 9-5 lead for the East Chicago Central Cardinals. The 3 from J.J. Jankowski, hoping that Ben Liskey hoping it's going to be a spark for the Valparaiso offense. Alamurwi grabs the timeout. He's got 4 remaining. 3:02 left in the first, and it will be Davon Williams inbounding it.
And one thing to look at going forward is like just if Valpo can bring down the rebounds and really keep control of them instead of just tipping at them like they have been.
Wagner ball fake, baseline drive, help defense arrives, feed it in, and a beautiful score by Davon Williams. 5 unanswered for Valparaiso, and they're within 2. New into the game is Zaven Johnson. He'll kick it for an open look for another new man in the game, Najee Mukes. Mukes, a good shooter, had just 2 points last time out against Lighthouse. That is blocked out of bounds. Maddox Wagner flying into the play, making a difference right there.
And another example of Maddox Wagner playing help defense to really help get the stop, make East Chicago miss. That's the second time in this quarter he's done that.
Trigger it into the corner, open 3 for Jamari Pollard, and Pollard drains it. So East Chicago Central shuts down the 5-0 run by Valparaiso, gets their second 3 of the ball game.
That was also Valparaiso's 3rd block already. They're really playing big down there, and they're using their height advantage over East Chicago to their advantage.
Crias is all bottled up and trying to save the possession as Williams, he does. Reeves will work it on the far side and get back up top to Crias. Savvy ball fake for Reeves, but the 3 comes up short. Offensive rebound, and the putback is up and good. How about Davon Williams, the 6'2 senior?
And that's what happens when they actually pull down the rebounds, get control of it, and get a good look out of it.
Wagner tips it, and the steal completed by Jankowski. Right down Main Street goes Jankowski. He forgot the basketball. We're coming the other way with Watkins into the corner, spotted up, same spot, and another 3 for Jamari Pollard.
And I would look forward to seeing Jamari Pollard do a whole lot more of that. He scored 20 points their first game of the season, and I don't expect anything much different this time.
He's got 8 already with 1:18 left in the first quarter. Maddox Wagner, can he answer back? No, it's a little too strong. Rebound tipped out, and it starts transition for Wofford, and he'll be fouled.
And like I said, they got to watch those foul numbers. These fouls, they build up, and as this game progresses, these fouls could become a problem for either of these teams.
First on Jankowski and the 3rd on the Valparaiso side. Jankowski will sit down with some good minutes. Number 0, Levon Redmond, will return. Najee Mukes will inbound this to Jamari Pollard. 8 points so far for Pollard. These 2 teams met last year, and it was a 65-41 East Chicago Central victory. Pollard has the hot hand. This 3 will not go from the corner. East Chicago Central with the offensive rebound, scrapped by Johnson. Inside we go, and drawing the contact is Najee Mukes. And we'll have a couple of free throws as Davon Williams commits the foul, his first team's 4th.
And yet another foul there. They keep adding up, and this could get bad as we progress in this ball game, like I said.
Tua coming at the line for 6'1 freshman Najee Mukes. First one is up and good. Landon O'Halleck, a 6'7 senior wearing number 34, also has joined the action for Valparaiso. It's a split trip for Mukes as Davon Williams pulls down the rebound. Excellent minutes for Williams here in the first quarter. 42 seconds left. Karras, he's working against Johnson. Oh, tipped away. Great steal by Pollard. Jamari Pollard.
And we saw a lot of that from Pollard in their first game. And there's a steal from him, and he keeps racking up points just like last time out.
We mentioned 5 steals for him against Lighthouse. Jamari Pollard already in the double-digit club tonight with 10 points, 2 made 3-pointers for Pollard. Big-time defensive effort as well. Drive and score for Levon Redmond. 8 seconds left. Here comes East Chicago looking for one final shot. Trying to cross it over is Watkins. He's in big trouble. Time's running out. Inside we go, and it will not go down. And we have reached the end of the first quarter with the East Chicago Central Cardinals out in front by 7, 18-11, behind 10 points from senior Jamari Pollard. We'll be back for the second quarter of action after this quick timeout right here on PC3 and the Heartland Sports Network.
Do you like watching sports? Well, here at PC3 Media, we cover many different sporting events. In the fall, we commentate and broadcast the Valparaiso home football games. In the winter, we cover basketball games from around the region and have won awards for our Couch sectional coverage. We also discuss professional sports on our podcasts, such as The Blitz and Towing the Rubber. Be sure to check out the PC3 YouTube channel for our sports live streams, and make sure not to miss a moment of the action.
Chicago Central Cardinals. Here is Gianna Zikos down on the sideline.
18-11. So we're
10 points for Jamari Pollard in the first quarter of action for East Chicago. Finds himself up 7 with the basketball. 4 points for Lance Jackson, the big man, and 3 for Makai Gillis. Meanwhile, for Valparaiso, Redmond has 4. Davon Williams has 4. 3 points for J.J. Jankowski, who loads up the long 2 here. It's no good. And here's Davon Williams with the rebound.
And that was a great contest by Jankowski, sorry.
Redmond scores it. There's Jankowski on the defense of that shot. Quarter in the jar for me, as I tried to turn him into a shooter, even though he's wearing the wrong jersey and is on the other team. So here we go. 5-point lead for East Chicago Central after the first bucket scored by Redmond. Nice hesitation dribble. Good step-through move. The shot no good. The second effort also no good for Watkins. Good job clogging it up inside by Valparaiso. You've seen them be stout on defense. They're really getting into that green painted lane every time that East Chicago wants to go in there.
Now let's see if Valpo can take control of the ball right here.
Go to the man Williams, and that will be an offensive foul.
Yeah, and that's a charge right there.
Second on Williams, first on the Vikings here in the second quarter. We are into the second season now of team fouls resetting at the end of quarters in high school basketball. I've almost got that worked out. Now they're going to change it as soon as I do. Tell you what, Makai Gillis, the 5'11 freshman, 3 points in the first quarter. Into the corner we go for Jamari Pollard. Nice job pacing a little shot open for Wofford, but that's well short. Wofford found the space but could not finish it. Redmond working on the cross, kick it into the corner. Davon Williams, everything's working for Williams. That's a 3. He's got 7 points in the game.
And yeah, Davon Williams has been a great scorer so far this game. I'd like to see him keep that up, and we'll see if he does.
He came off the bench, immediately made an impact with the defense, as once again, Pollard tries to hit the 3. He's already hit 2. Nice offensive rebound by Tyree Gary. Inside we go to Lance Jackson. Everyone tumbling down to the court. Make sure everyone's all right down there. And they'll call this out of bounds. So Watkins re-enters for East Chicago, and Terrace re-enters for Valparaiso. And here comes Aiden Johnson as well, 5'8 freshman for Coach Murway and the East Chicago Central Cardinals. Cardinal basketball, as their lead has shrunk to just 2. Inside we go, Maddox Wagner with some physical defense. That's tipped out. It will stay Cardinal basketball.
And there we see another block by Valparaiso. Their defense inside has been astounding against East Chicago so far.
Gillis for Wofford. Now here's Johnson. How about it, Gillis? Another 3-point attempt. This one will not go down. Jankowski with the rebound. Karras. Nice flip into the corner. That's Braden Waters in off the bench. Wagner's going to give it back up top. Jankowski. Beautiful move. Jankowski found the pivot foot.
And a great job by Jankowski, really getting in there and getting a good look, and that worked out for him.
So a 7-point swing for the Valpo Vikings to tie it at 18. A 7-0 run. That shot is blocked, and it is going the other way. Valparaiso, what a start to the second quarter for Ben Liskey and company, taking a 18-11 game and turning it into an 18-18 tie.
Yeah, and at some point, we got to see East Chicago go a different route there. They've been getting blocked a lot so far. They just have had no answer for Valparaiso's defense in the paint.
Wagner paces it back to Karras. He'll break the trap and go out to Jankowski. He is spotted up, and he drains it, and the Valparaiso Vikings have the lead by 3. J.J. Jankowski, his second three-pointer of the game. And
great job getting
to the
open
wants
right
to do right here on offense. In we go. Watkins double move. He's fouled. They'll get Landon O'Halleck with his first, team's second. Couple shots at the line coming for East Chicago. Joseph Watkins Jr. shot 52% from the free throw line last year as a junior with 22 makes, and he'll head for his first 2 of the game right now. Almost went down. East Chicago 1 of 3 from the charity stripe here in the early going. 4:54 left to go until halftime. Both are off, and O'Hallock grabs the rebound.
It's going to be really important for them to capitalize at the charity stripe here tonight, especially with the foul trouble these teams may be getting into, as there have been a lot of fouls so far.
Turned over by Valparaiso. We go the other way for East Chicago, and Javon Wofford gets his first 2 points of the game. To your point, Vincent, East Chicago was 4 of 16 from the free throw line in the win against Gary Lighthouse, and that's a number that I'm sure Coach Murray would like to see go way up.
Definitely something that needs to be improved, especially if they want to be winning games like this.
Spot 3 for Reeves, and the rebound by Johnson. We're going the other way as it's under control. Watkins takes it in strong. That is a good job by Watkins, getting a good handle and going in for another couple of free throw attempts. They'll get Karras with the foul, his first, team's 3rd.
And East Chicago has been attacking the paint like this. Has not worked out for them a handful of times, but it's gotten them to the charity stripe yet again.
This will be the 5th and 6th free throws of the game for East Chicago. And there's exactly what Watkins wanted to see. Sometimes you just need to get that first one to go through. About halfway through the second quarter here from Valparaiso High School. Glad you're with us. I'm Mike, that's Vincent. Beautiful night for basketball, non-conference action. Watkins cans them both. Cardinals back in front by 1. Valparaiso down by 7 as we entered the second quarter. They brought it back to tied. Nice baseline move by Karras. The shot just does not go down. Watkins, he's been good in transition. He lost the handle this time. Great job by Wagner and company, making it difficult.
And that'll be a jump ball, I bet.
Possession arrows pointing to the Vikings if it is, and that's where we're going. Davon Williams re-enters for Valparaiso as O'Hallock sits down. 7 points for Davon Williams. He's out there with 2 fouls before the halftime break, so we'll keep an eye on that.
And as we see, East Chicago keeping the full court pressure on as they look to keep Valpo guessing, keep them kind of off balance, and limit their control that they really have over their possessions.
Karras finds the cutter. Williams moves it right through, wide open. Look for Reeves, a little bit too strong. Pollard with the rebound. Oh, it's nearly stolen away. Up ahead we go to Gillis. Gillis, head fake. Gillis, the finger roll blocked. Get it out of here.
And yet another block as they went into the paint with that one.
Jankowski finds the cutter, Reeves. Reeves is fouled. Believe they'll get Amari Pollard. They will. Pollard his first, and the first on the Cardinals here in the second quarter. We got a baseline out of bounds, AKA blob play, coming up here. If you've heard me before on the Heartland Sports Network, you know I like my slobs and my blobs, my sideline and baseline plays. Nice feed through the paint. Out we go. Williams for 3. Yes.
Great ball movement right there to get it to the shooter on the perimeter. They had a great pass like that just a couple possessions ago. Did not quite work out. That time they were able to connect, and that's what they'll look to do as this game continues.
Davon Williams continuing to make an impact off the bench. Najee Mukes tries to answer it back. And they're going to get Jankowski with the foul on the rebound line. That was just a little bit too much for Jankowski. That'll be his second and the team's 4th. So that was the foul to give. Throws on everything else for the East Chicago Central Cardinals here in the second quarter. Jankowski out. Redmond returns for Ben Liskey and the Vikes. 24-22. East Chicago looking to tie or take the lead with 2:50 left until halftime. Gillis will give it back for Wofford. To the free throw line, no good for Wofford. Rebounded by Davon Williams. We go quickly up ahead to Maddox Wagner. Wagner drives it and scores it. That is Maddox Wagner's first field goal of the game, but that doesn't even begin to describe the impact that he's had for Valparaiso through the first quarter and 2/3.
And East Chicago trying a more so perimeter attempts now as the field goal attempts inside the paint have not been working as this game has gone on.
They'll get Redmond with the foul. That is his first, team's 5th. And so free throws as promised for Javon Wofford. Wofford coming off of a 12-point, 3-board, 3 assists, 3 steal, 2 block game against Lighthouse. He's a love guy who can fill up every aspect of the box score, and he's up and good on his first attempt of the game. Lance Jackson back in the game for East Chicago. One more coming here for Javon Wofford. Two for 2 is Wofford. He's got 4 points all here in the second quarter of action. Cardinals within 2. Karras back for Redmond. To the baseline, Wagner was completely lost. And then picking him up is Jackson. Jackson with some great defense. Wagner hits the deck for it. We got a scrum down there. Should be Cardinal ball on the tie-up.
And that was a great block by Javon Wofford now on Maddox Wagner in the paint. Great job helping the other defender as they force the turnover.
Maddox Wagner, a guy who averaged 6 points, 4 rebounds last year. He's got all the size you want, 6'8", and a junior. And for Wagner, I think part of the adjustment this season is going to be how much he's going to be on the court and how much he's expected to be involved in every play. You see another block for Wagner, and he really seems primed for good physical play, and he's going to need to be doing that in the Duneland all throughout the year, because it is some tough basketball played in this Duneland Conference. Karras has got the big man out on him. How about a 3 from Wagner? Nope, left that one short. Rebounded and pushed by Watkins.
And that was the 7th block by Valparaiso already this game.
Gillis, drive it, kick it, Pollard, that's his spot, not this time. Wagner, good physical defensive board right there.
And usually you'll see Pollard punish them for leaving him wide open like that, but just not this time.
Redmond scooping layup, yes indeed.
That was great body control as he leapt through the air. Just a great job to get that bucket.
It's one of those shots, Vincent, where it's great if it goes in. Coach just says, good shot. 3 up, that was a good look, but it would not go down. Rebounded underneath by Jackson, off the miss by Wofford.
Yeah, and if I'm coach, maybe not the shot I would have taken, but since it went in, just call it a great shot at that.
Levon Redmond, a guy who can really get anywhere he wants on the court with the handle. 5'9" with that good compact dribble and the body control in the air. First 2 free throw attempts of the game for 6'4" senior Lance Jackson. He's got 5 points as he cans the first. Returning is Waters for Valparaiso and Tyree Gary for East Chicago.
And this next one is likely going to be the last possession of the quarter for Valparaiso, so we'll see what they can do.
One more for Lance Jackson. Full bank is closed, and Max Wagner will grab the rebound. 36 on the clock. Karras working against some good defense by Johnson. Reeves back for Karras. Patience by Valparaiso as we're under 20. Now with 16 left, Waters taking a look. Redmond with 9. Redmond to the right hand. Step it back, go for Wagner. Wagner will load the 3 over Jackson. That's no good. Rebounded by Wofford, and that is the end of the first half of action. The Valparaiso Vikings storm back from down 7 to lead 3 at the half, 28-25 over the East Chicago Central Cardinals. We'll take a break, take a rest for about 12 minutes. We'll come on back and bring you the second half of action after that. This is Valparaiso versus East Chicago, 28-25. Vikings over the Cardinals at halftime right here on PC3 Media and the Heartland Sports Network.
So let's go ahead, grab ourselves a plate, and now let's get assembling.
So you want to take your 2 pieces of toast, put it right in the middle, take about a handful of your pretzels, put it on the side, same with your jelly beans. Take a handful, put it on the other side, and then go ahead, take some of your popcorn, and put it right in the middle.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving meal. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
What does life at college really look like? That depends on where you look. At Vincennes University, there's plenty to see, including your dream career with more than 180 fields to choose from. You'll see smaller-sized classes and hands-on learning, industry partnerships to grow your connections, and spectacular living and learning communities you're sure to love. And there's always something to do on the 200-acre campus. Do on the 200-acre campus thriving with student clubs. You'll also discover the value of a VU degree. Check us out at vinu.edu.
Well, here at PC3 Media, we cover many different sporting events. In the fall, we commentate and broadcast the Valparaiso home football games. In the winter, we cover basketball games from around the region and have won awards for our Couch sectional coverage. We also discuss professional sports on our podcasts, such as The Blitz and Towing the Rubber. Be sure to check out the PC3 YouTube channel for our sports live streams, and make sure not to miss a moment of the action.
I'm Mike Fleischman, that's Vincent LaFollette. It's time for the third quarter right here on PC3 Media and the Heartland Sports Network. 28-25 in favor of the Valparaiso Vikings. Hope you had a great halftime. Back to the action we go. Levon Redmond on the handle. Original starting five: Redmond, Jankowski, Reeves, Wagner, and McConaughey. For the Valparaiso Vikings, and for the Cardinals, Pollard, Gillis, Wofford, Watkins, and Jackson out there. Glad you're with us here on PC3 Media. Vincent, that was a fun first half and really a great second quarter by the Valparaiso Vikings. It went 17-7 in favor of Valparaiso, got them right back into a game that they trailed by 7 after the first quarter.
And a great part of that was their interior defense. A few big blocks by Maddox, Wagner especially, really contributing to that.
Maddox Wagner, if he gets the scoring going, look out, because he has been everywhere except really in the scoreboard. That's only his second field goal of the game. He's got 4 points, and it moves Valparaiso's lead out to 30-25.
Yeah, and I bet we'll see some more offense from him. I bet he'll definitely score a few more times in this half.
Makai Gillis, the freshman up top. Nice, strong bounce pass into the corner. Jamari Pollard says, welcome to the third quarter, everyone. Cuts this back to just a 2-point Valparaiso lead with his third three-pointer of the game. He's got 13 points after putting up a 10 spot in the first 16 minutes of action. Hesitation dribble, no, but the finish good for McConaughey. Second chance effort for Valparaiso. Stolen right back by Redmond. Great sequence for Redmond. Pushes it up ahead for Reeves, the pump fake, and converts it.
Nice hesitation there to get his defender, Makai Gillis, off balance, make him jump for one, and get an easy lay for that.
Reeves doing a great job with patience in the lane. Here's a shot pushed up by Wofford, and out of bounds it goes. It'll stay Cardinal basketball, to the consternation of Ben Liskey down on the sidelines.
That was great defense there, though, to keep his space, really contest the shot, and then walk away without a foul call there, too.
Gillis puts it up top. He finds Watkins. Long two if it goes. Well short for Watkins. Gillis trying to save it out of bounds, but he could not quite get in the air early enough.
I think that was tipped by Valpo. Might be wrong, but they get possession no matter what.
J.J. Jankowski, 8 points in the first half for Jankowski. 2 made threes for the sophomore. Jankowski, one of a couple players on Valpo with 2 personal fouls. McConaughey, Jankowski, and Williams, each playing with 2. Wagner, help defense arrives from the baseline drive. Up we go to Jankowski. Wagner will get a look. The left-hander, yes. Look out now if Maddox Wagner gets it going.
And with a guy in his face, too. And that's his first real three like that. He's had a couple of chances like that. Finally cashes one in.
Whistle and a foul. That will go against Maddox Wagner. 2 now on Wagner, with the first on the Vikings here in the third quarter. 5:37 left to go in this stanza. Vikings have pushed the lead out to 37-28 with a 9-3 scoring run against East Chicago in the third quarter.
And a bit of a rough first quarter for Valpo with keeping East Chicago off the scoreboard. But they have really stepped it up on defense these past 2. And there's another block.
Yeah, making it impossible inside for East Chicago to work, as Lance Jackson is completely shut down. And then they get Wofford with a frustration foul. That's his second and the team's first here in the third quarter. So Jackson will come out and Mukes will replace him.
And if Valpo can stay composed, they will cause a lot of frustration for that East Chicago defense moving forward.
Jankowski will give it to Reeves. 2 points in the game for Reeves, make it 4. And you can see how it changes when Jackson goes out. The ball stopping ability of East Chicago really changes without the big guy in the middle.
Yeah, and especially with Valpo's size, especially inside, it just makes it a whole different ball game for Valpo. Makes it a lot easier for them to get stops like that.
Third foul on McConaughey as Joseph Watkins goes into him, draws the contact. Savvy take by Watkins to see what you can do against a guy who's already in a little bit of foul trouble. Watkins 2 of 4 from the line tonight. Make it 3 of 5 for his 3 points.
And East Chicago has figured something out with their free throw shooting. A lot of misses and a lot of trouble with free throws early on, but they have figured it out lately.
First one goes down for Joseph Watkins Jr. Alan Murray takes a timeout. We are going to stay here for 60 seconds during the timeout. 39-29 Vikings. Story of this game so far was 18-11 East Chicago at the end of the first quarter, a 17-7 advantage for the Valparaiso Vikings, buoyed by that great interior defense and outside shooting that Vince and I have been talking about. Now here in the third quarter, how about this turn? You have got an 11-4 advantage for Valparaiso, and they pushed it out to double figures. And for the Valpo Vikings, of course, the job isn't done, but they've really established what they want to do in this game. You feel like the Vikings right now have the identity that they want.
Yeah, and they started the game maybe with a little bit of a concerning start, starting behind, not a favorable position at all, down 7, but they fought back in this, and now they have a rather commanding lead in the third quarter.
So East Chicago Central down 10. We'll have one more free throw coming for Joseph Watkins Jr. with 5:02 remaining here in the third quarter. Ala Murray has 3 timeouts remaining. Meanwhile, all 5 still in the back pocket of Ben Liskey and the Valpo Vikings. Coach Murray in his 4th season, all he's done is win here at East Chicago, 54-16. He's won 2 consecutive sectionals, won the regional last year. That sectional victory was the 17th in the trophy case over at the Barado Center as Watkins hits them both. 4 of 6 is Watkins from the free throw line for all 4 of his points. East Chicago's going to turn up the temperature, and now Valpo's got to hurry. Great job by Wagner snapping that pass to Jankowski. Redmond the spin move, Redmond the contact, and he will shoot a couple.
And right there we saw some more full court pressing by East Chicago, just trying to keep Valpo off balance, keep them on their toes as they bring the ball up the court, and maybe get them to rush things and make some mistakes.
The foul goes on Gillis.
And it's actually one of the hardest things out there, to slow down against the press and just stay calm, stay collected, and prevent mistakes.
First free throw of the night up and good for 5'9" senior Levon Redmond. 9 points for Redmond. Scored 2 field goals in each of the first 2 quarters. Split trip for Redmond. Offensive rebound by McConaughey. Corbin McConaughey keeps the good news coming for Valparaiso.
And that is a big rebound and field goal by Corbin McConaughey right there.
Wofford trying to do a little bit too much. Absolutely shut down in the lane. East Chicago turns it over. We go the other direction. No shot. Fouls on the floor, and that'll be Makai Gillis picking up his 3rd and the team's 3rd. Returning is 5'8" freshman Zayden Johnson for Coach Murray and the Cardinals. Tyree Gary wants to come in as well. He started to come in, realized he had to wait for the buzzer to sound. Now he's in. Second game of the season for everyone here in the Valparaiso gym. And we go to McConaughey. Nice catch, McConaughey trying to feed it through to Maddox Wagner. Wagner somehow got a shot up, missed it. McConaughey, no. Ball's on the ground, Reeve finds it. Out we go, Jankowski for 3, no hand in his face, can't hit it. Rebound tipped out to Johnson. We're going the other way for a moment, and the whistle blows. That'll get Redmond with his 2nd, team's 3rd.
And that really wasn't a smart foul there with where we are in the game.
Yeah, you had decent transition back. Sometimes you like that foul. As long as it's not a clear path foul, if you shut down a break that you think is for sure going to score 2. But that time, it was just a little bit of a frustration. Here's a pass to nobody. That's going to result in an over and back. And East Chicago has seen their fortunes really declining a little bit here. Plenty of time left, of course, here with 4:08 in the 3rd. But the Cardinals are having a tough time just finding a good shot on offense right now. They go inside, they get denied. And the outside shot just hasn't quite been falling. McConaughey cuts to the basket. That is no good. Rebound tip to Johnson. Here's Johnson in transition. Johnson up in the paint. It did everything but go down. That's the kind of quarter it's been for the Cardinals. Graves coming the other way. Quickly to Cryas underneath, no. Jackson had the rebound, and there's another foul as Jackson was trying to start the break by himself.
And perhaps a little rush there by Valpo with Nikola Karras. Maybe if they took a little more time, might have gotten a better look, let a couple more guys get down the floor, and maybe come away with a field goal there if they did that.
See Coach Murray there setting up the offense for East Chicago. Nice move on the baseline, and then Maddox Wagner shuts it down. Tyree Gary is denied. We go the other way. Jankowski scores it.
A great job scoring there off the turnover from Maddox's block.
Pollard too strong on the take. The rebound underneath and the whistle and the foul.
And we saw East Chicago go back into the paint there right before that Maddox Wagner block. And that has really been the story so far, is them rushing into the paint and not coming away with much to show for it.
Jamari Pollard, another one of those guys who can really get anywhere on the court, but one of our keys for East Chicago was finding the right shots, and they are getting to the right spots, but the conversions continue to be the problem. 46-30 now. The run just continues for Valparaiso.
You know, I think maybe East Chicago should start pulling out of that press right there. They've been trying it, and Valpo has adapted. They're now like staying more controlled within it.
Joseph Watkins Jr. stays with it, gets the second chance bucket, and Alamarwi takes another timeout. So 2 timeouts left for Alamarwi. We've got 2:52 left in the quarter, and a big advantage on the scoreboard, 46-32 in favor of the Vikings. We're going to keep it right here on PC3 Media. Glad you're with us. I'm Mike Fleischman. We got Vincent LaFollette hanging out with me. We got a whole bunch of folks here. We got Luke Powers on a little production tonight. Gianna Zikos bringing us a sideline report. Henry Sirkowski keeping score for us. Cameras Jackson, Andrew, Kaylee, and Charlie. Kaylee and Charlie down on the sidelines bringing you those great looks from the baseline action. Make sure to stay with us all season long. I am thrilled when we get to basketball season because it means that I get to stop hanging out outside just as the weather turns bad. Get in the comfy, cozy gym. Don't have to be out on the soccer field. Valparaiso glad to be in the gym for sure. The Vikings 10-15. No postseason wins for Valparaiso last year after just a 2-5 mark in the Duneland Conference. They lost to Maryville in the sectional opener right here on this Valparaiso home court.
And we see East Chicago still opting for the full court press there, and it hasn't worked as much lately, but they stick with it nonetheless.
Reeves, this will be a 2 if it goes. It does not, and there's Jackson pulling down the rebound. Pollard pulls it back, and Gillis moves it along. Nice move by Jackson. Good ball movement by East Chicago, but that shot way too strong out of the hands of Watkins. Rebound pushed up ahead. There's Karras.
Great job by Karras. Another kind of hesitation there to get his man jumping, and he still gets the bucket.
Foul on the shot by Jamari Pollard. Almost went down. 2 at the line coming for Pollard here. As Karras picks up the foul, that's his 3rd and the 5th on the Vikings, so throws on everything for the Cardinals. The rest of the 1:57 here in the 3rd quarter. Jamari Pollard, 58% from the free throw line last year.
And what a change we've seen since the first quarter. In the first quarter, East Chicago really was getting it done all over the court. And however, they weren't getting it done at the line, as he misses right there. Now they've made more free throws, but they aren't converting so much on their field goal attempts.
Yeah, Pollard is really a big part of that story, too. 2 made 3-pointers, part of his 10-point effort in the first quarter. Nothing in the second quarter, and that 3-pointer here in the 3rd quarter for his 13.
Yeah, and Valpo definitely has done a great job of stopping Pollard. That was kind of one of the big things, I think, as they were looking into this matchup beforehand, and they have really figured him out, it seems, since the first quarter.
Davon Williams back in for Valparaiso and Coach Liskey. Jankowski sees the door open, and Jenkins closes it. Lance Jenkins not to be trifled with underneath, and Pollard converts it on the other side. 6 points for Pollard here in the third quarter. He's got 16. Redmond up ahead, Jankowski this time. Once again, it's Jackson in there shutting it down, and this one is knocked out of bounds. Ben Liskey wants a timeout.
Yeah, we got to start looking at how Valpo goes about these layups. They got to start making more of these just to widen that lead, really take control of this ball game down the stretch.
So Maddox Wagner just picked up his third personal foul. Ben Liskey has taken his first of 5 timeouts. We'll have throws on the other end when we come back on the other side of this 60-second timeout. 48-35 Vikings over the Cardinals here from Valparaiso on PC3 and the Heartland Sports Network.
Parlor Donuts, where not every donut has to be sweet. At Parlor, they decided to flip the script, because sometimes your cravings call for something different. So Parlor went savory with their classic donuts. With 6 new flavors that include chicken bacon ranch, Hawaiian barbecue chicken, pig and fig, OG pepperoni, buffalo chicken,
A 19-11 advantage for Valparaiso here in the third quarter, adding on to that 17-7 advantage for the Vikings in the second quarter. It's 48-35. I'm Mike. That's Vince. Glad you're with us here on PC3 Media. Really impressive. Go ahead.
We've seen Valpo really take control of the scoring in the second and third quarters after a rough first quarter, to say the least.
One thing to watch right now is the 3 fouls on Maddox Wagner for the Valparaiso Vikings. Karras also has 3 fouls for Valparaiso. Makai Gillis has 3, meanwhile, for East Chicago Central. 2 at the line here for Lance Jackson, as the first one is up and good. Jackson now 2 of 3 from the free throw line, part of his 6-point effort tonight. Gillis departs. Johnson returns for Coach Murray and the Cardinals. That one hard off the back iron and stolen away by Davon Williams.
And that's a great job by Davon, taking that ball from East Chicago, getting them the possession, because that could have been a really interesting play right there, potentially getting them 2 extra points if East Chicago was able to convert.
12-point advantage for the Vikings here with a minute left in the third quarter. Oh, nice little ball fake and the take by Redmond. He's got some throws coming. Fake the give and then just take it right in. Jackson the foul, his second, team's 5th. Both teams are over the limit here in the third quarter with just under a minute left.
And like we said in the first couple quarters, they might, like, with the fouls adding up, they're just going to continue to get in trouble like that.
Redmond off on the first, and he'll have one more coming. Redmond trying to get to a 10-point effort tonight. He's sitting on 9 right now. And Redmond a split trip. East Chicago down 13 with Wofford moving it from the elbow out to Pollard. Jamari Pollard, drive it, kick it, the 3 on the way, that is no good. Jankowski trying to board it. Wofford trying to throw it out of bounds off of Jankowski, and I believe he succeeded, he did.
And that's a great play right there, just to keep possession, throwing it off Jankowski, and it worked right there.
Snap it up top, Pollard for 3, no. Offensive rebound by Johnson. Joseph Watkins Jr. going to take a look at the defense. Zayden Johnson, no points so far in the game for him, a 5'8" freshman. A couple of freshmen doing significant playing time for this East Chicago Central Cardinal team under Coach Murray.
And that was a great rebound by Johnson, as those are some of the little things that kind of build into points.
Ball just came out of Wofford's hands. Great push ahead by Jankowski. How about it, LeVon Redmond? As time time expires in the third quarter. Redmond puts the exclamation point on the end of the sentence. 51-36 in favor of the Valparaiso Vikings. Fourth quarter when we come back. PC3 Media and the Heartland Sports Network.
Of the month with AutoPay. The holidays bring more guests, more devices, and more reasons to go fiber fast. With Surf, you'll enjoy free installation, no contracts, no data caps, and all-in pricing that keeps things simple and affordable. Stay connected, stream your favorites, and share every moment without slowing down. Because with Surf, your internet is fast, reliable, and local. Get Surf Fiber Fast Internet today. Visit surfinternet.com for more information.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan.
Fourth quarter is on right now. Let's go down to Gianna Zikos on the sidelines. I'm Mike Fleischman. That's Vincent LaFollette. Gianna Zikos with the update from the sidelines. Thrilled to have you with us on PC3 Media here tonight from Valparaiso. The Valparaiso Vikings are feeling fantastic, leading 51-36 over the East Chicago Central Cardinals. Valpo trying to start 2-0 here on the 25-26 season. East Chicago looking for the comeback here in the fourth quarter. They are going to need to find some composure if they want to do so. Take it in, no good. In off the bench, the first shot up for Justin Bennett, a 6'3 sophomore. Bennett draws the contact and the foul, and that's 4 on Maddox Wagner.
And East Chicago really hasn't seen a whole lot of success driving into the paint. A lot of their success really has been in drawing fouls when they are in the paint, as opposed to just making their layups or field goals.
First free throw of the game for Justin Bennett, who starts off out on the court. First action of the night for Coach Murray. So Maddox Wagner has to go to the bench. Maddox Wagner has been filling up the stat sheet here tonight. One more for the lefty, Justin Bennett. That goes through. And if you're East Chicago, a great way to shrink this deficit is to score with the clock stopped at the free throw line. But you're going to have to start making some field goals as well. Redmond hands it to McConaughey underneath, and Corbin McConaughey. That's how you break the press, get a big man down low underneath. And this is a turnover. East Chicago is trying to speed it up, and it just did not work out. Valparaiso, one thing you got to give them credit for is they have been ready for the speed of East Chicago in this game. It's a conditioning check kind of game early on for Ben Liskey and company, and they've really met that.
Yeah, and really just the force that Valpo has put on them has just forced the wheels to fall off, and it seems like they're making now simple mistakes that they weren't making early on, especially in the first quarter and even into the second quarter.
Stack it up for an inbound play. Reeves goes in for Levon Redmond. 12 points for Redmond, including 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Redmond with a little hesitation move, and Najee Mukes kind of in on Redmond, but they get Redmond for the infraction.
And it looks like that'll be called a carry.
Yep. Redmond makes the classic sign for my bad, and it'll go back over to East Chicago. Zayden Johnson at the controls for the Cardinals. Next up for the Cardinals, they're not going home to the Barado Center, one of the great basketball arenas in the entire state of Indiana. They are going to Gary Westside on Saturday. Strong take inside, couple of throws coming here for the Cardinals as McConaughey will commit the foul. That's his 4th, so now you got 4 on Wagner, you got 4 on McConaughey, and you're gonna have to go to a smaller lineup if you're Ben Liskey. Although you could also go to the 6'7" O'Halleck off the bench. Zayden Johnson with 2 free throws.
And Valpo's really just sitting back in that 2-3, just trying to be patient, let the opportunities come to them, as opposed to rushing it like they did at times in the first quarter.
Zayden Johnson up and good. One more for the freshman. Got them both.
And East Chicago still going with that full court kind of press right there. It hasn't worked as much since the first quarter. And it often leads to, like that, layup attempts.
Davon Williams, count it, and one. Beautiful feed from McConaughey back to him.
East Chicago foul number 45, Dennis Jackson.
Jackson the foul, his third, team's first. Davon Williams, his first free throw attempt at the night, trying to mix up an old-fashioned three-point play. Vincent, you could tell Davon Williams was in a business-like mood tonight from the minute he stepped on the court in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was really a bright spot in their offense in that first quarter. When the rest of the team was kind of struggling to get hot, he really got the offense started. And it started to spread, and now they are full steam ahead.
Mukes with the third chance bucket for East Chicago. That's shut down. The Cardinals are coming back the other way. This ball is free. We have a game of pinball breaking out right at the half-court stripe. Valpo trying to call timeout. They got it. How about that? How about that for Levon Redmond? Making sure he turned and got the timeout as soon as Valparaiso had the basketball. That is heads-up play from the 5'9" senior. It's a 30-second timeout, so we keep it right here. Valparaiso 56-41 with 6:35 left. Valparaiso's in a great spot right now because they're dealing with a little bit of foul trouble, but they've done the work they needed to build a 15-point lead. So right now they're just trying to play smart. They're trying to be where they need to be. Kind of take away transition from East Chicago, and we've been talking about East Chicago struggling with some of the trapping in the pressure defense. The East Chicago Central Cardinals, that's something that they're going to want to try and run all throughout the season. So for Coach Murray and company, this might be a situation where you're learning where you have to build on that, because conference play and sectional play, of course, is going to be coming down the road for both of these teams. We got a few national holidays and such to get done before we get to that point. Wanted to talk a little bit about what East Chicago Central is doing coming up on Saturday. That's tomorrow. They're going to be at Gary Westside, and this is a great opportunity. They're going to play the Farragut Academy out of Chicago, the Lakeshore Classic. That's been going on all week. H1 Moore, who was a crucial part of that East Chicago Central 2007 state championship, is a big part of what goes on there. Hank Highlander and those folks at Gary Westside putting on some great basketball events all through the week. They got stuff going on there today. They've got the game against Farragut and the Cardinals going on tomorrow. Meanwhile, next up for Valparaiso, they're in action tomorrow as well. They got to go down to Northridge and play, as Chris Berman would say, the Raiders. That's my Chris Berman impression. I'll never do it again. So we had a technical foul go against Valparaiso. Jamari Pollard is shooting it. This happened, we saw Redmond get the timeout for the Vikings, and then this happened after the timeout, and we got to chatting.
Yeah, and I believe that technical foul came from PC3's very own Johnny Clumpy running onto the court after that play before the timeout.
So Johnny Clumpy picks up a technical foul. Jamari Pollard, spin move, converts.
And that seems to be one of the few times they actually have converted in the paint with how dominant Valparaiso has been in there down low.
So Jamari Pollard has scored 4 points in quick succession here, 56-45. Ball game looks a little different right now as Jamari Pollard steals it and scores it. So how about this? We were talking about a 56-41 ball game, and now East Chicago helped by a little technical free throw and a Jamari Pollard bucket, trying to get back in it. Levon Redmond says, hold on a minute, and scores it himself for Valpo.
And another sloppy play there kind of on the inbound. Zane Johnson didn't secure the pass immediately, as Valpo has been forcing some mistakes for East Chicago.
Mukes with the basket. He has got 4. East Chicago Central has got it to single digits. That's nearly turned over. McConaughey playing with 4 fouls, goes back out to Jankowski. 5:29 left, Jankowski off the bounce, how about it?
And it's a little bit early for a dagger, but that might actually be close to being one of them.
Blocking foul is called. Redmond can't believe it, but I can. I had a good view on that one. That's his 3rd and the team's 4th. So Maddox Wagner with 4 fouls is going to come back into the game. Karras is back in. 61-49.
And it'll be good for Valpo to have that height in Maddox Wagner back in the paint, as he has had a whole lot of blocks, and he's been a big part of stopping East Chicago in the paint.
They go right at McConaughey with Zayden Johnson. Johnson scores his first field goal of the night. Go along with 2 free throws. He's got 4. Maddox Wagner. Now Redmond. Redmond working around a McConaughey screen. Drive it, kick it. Wagner on the baseline. He's fouled. That's Jamari Pollard with his team second.
And it looked like a push. That was a great job by Corbin McConaughey right there, drawing this, or getting the screen, drawing the man off. And then with the help defense, East Chicago left a man open in the corner, and that led to that foul right there.
Redmond step it back. Pollard will come out and guard him. Under 5 to play, 4th quarter. Redmond traveled with the basketball.
And he missed the open post down low right there. Hate to see it for Valpo, but they have a lead to play with. Just don't want to be making mistakes like that, as mistakes like that do build up, and that could cost them a few points here and there.
The East Chicago Central team definitely has the speed and scoring ability to make this thing interesting with a 10-point deficit and 4:39 left. Watkins will load the 3, that's short.
And EC has the chance to cut the lead, or cut the deficit, to single digits here.
Mukes, how about a 3 for the freshman? Down it goes. Now we got a ball game. 7 points for Mukes here in the 4th quarter. 61-54. Redmond lost the handle. Viking basketball. Davon Williams returns for Coach Liskey and the Vikings.
And EC is unwavering with their defensive strategy, pressing full court, as it led to Levon getting fouled right there.
This is tipped out of bounds. It will stay Viking ball.
And the momentum has definitely swung now, as Valpo's rather large lead heading into this 4th quarter has now shriveled into more of a 7-point lead. This might be time for worry for them. However, they still hold the lead.
It's an 18-10 advantage for East Chicago here in the 4th quarter. Vikings need a patient possession and a good look at a bucket here.
And this is a big possession, as it could set the tone for the rest of the game with 4 minutes left in the quarter.
Reeves finds a cutter. Williams will go to the line. Great play for the Valpo Vikings.
And a great job being patient there by Valpo as they looked until they got a shot. And although it didn't go down, he gets 2 free throws to make it back up.
The foul is on Lance Jackson. The senior now has 4. 3-team fouls on the Cardinals. 2 at the line for Davon Williams, who is 1 of 1 on the day. Make it 2 of 2. The Vikings were 2 of 4 as a team on free throws through 3 quarters of action, and now find themselves 4 of 6 with 1 more coming for the senior Davon Williams.
And this is where we really see what Valpo's made of, as right here with this lead the way it is, this is where teams often start to kind of rush and lose control and lose focus, but we'll see if Valpo can hang on and stay comfortable here.
3 on the way, too strong out of the hands of Watkins. Jankowski secures it and gets it back to Karras. Karras against Johnson, the ball comes away, Karras gets it right back. Underneath to Wagner, that's a good idea. And Maddox Wagner scores it for 2. That's his first points in the 4th quarter. He's got 9 for the game, and we are back out to a double-digit lead for Valparaiso.
Oh, and a couple unlucky breaks for EC, as they almost had a turnover on that previous possession.
Instead, it's Maddox Wagner again, and he's in the double-digit club now. 11 points for Maddox Wagner. So things looked like they might get interesting for a bit. Valparaiso settled it down. Consecutive turnovers for East Chicago Central. It's staying right here. The Vikings can set up on offense now. Had a little surf internet fast break going for Valparaiso, but instead it'll be Valpo ball on the blob play.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Valpo pull it out. Just
look out.
Need to keep playing the way they have been.
Foul before the inbound, and that should do it for Lance Jackson. That's 5 on Jackson and 4 on East Chicago. So Jackson will foul out with 6 points, 3:02 remaining fourth quarter.
And you hate to see it, he has really been he has at least tried to stop Valpo's big men in the paint. He has been really their best force against that, and losing that might seal the deal for EC.
Just as we say that, that's a airmailed pass. Johnson underneath. Finds Mukes, and Najee Mukes continues having a great fourth quarter. He had 1 point coming into the fourth quarter and has scored 9.
And that's where Valpo's really got to be patient on defense, not rush the ball, stay on their man, and just get a hand up, force bad shots.
Watkins trying to apply a little pressure on the dribbler way out top of the arc, and instead this will be free throws for Valparaiso, as that's the 5th team foul on East Chicago. Watkins picked up his 2nd. So Jankowski to the free throw line for his first 2 of the game.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of fouls early in the game, early in the second half too. And this is when those fouls start to kind of have an effect in the game, as now Valpo's going to the line with each foul that is made by Eastern Chicago.
One more coming here for Jankowski. 13 points in the game for JJ. A couple of made 3-pointers, 14 now as he splits the trip. Jankowski double figures in the first 2 games of the season. Ala Murray will whistle a timeout. We'll keep it right here with a full timeout. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. 68-56 in favor of the Valparaiso Vikings here with the timeout on the court. Coach Murray will have 1 remaining. Taking a look at what's going on in Great Lakes Conference action here tonight on Friday, December the 5th. Chicago Little Village is at Hammond tonight. That's at Gary West, part of that Lakeshore Classic that we were talking about. And Michigan City is at Westside. We talked about that as a game to watch in our pregame opening. Taking a look on the other side in Duneland Conference action tonight. East Chicago's right here at Valparaiso. You knew that already. LaPorte's at Plymouth. Michigan City's at Westside. You knew that already too. And South Bend St. Joe is at Chesterton tonight. Tell you what, I am looking forward to a fantastic season of IHSAA basketball right here in the region. The Duneland Conference, one of the best conferences in the entire state. So much good coaching, so much good basketball. You know, you think about Chesterton and that great program that Mark Urban has there. Ben Liskey taking over for Barrett Kuhlman. Great tenure here. Now the coach over at Penn. The Maryville Pirates not to be trifled with at all, as well as Valparaiso can tell you, as Valparaiso's season came to an end against Maryville in the first sectional game of the year last year. Portage, I tell you, it's been great watching Portage get that basketball program working over the last 3 or 4 seasons as well.
Yeah, and here we need to see East Chicago be perfect down the stretch if they want any chance of staying in this ballgame.
Wagner says, get it out of here. Maddox Wagner has been so good in this game.
And that has been much of the story so far with East Chicago going into the paint, is Maddox Wagner just being there to get the stops, get the blocks, and just get a hand up and force bad shots or even just block it like that.
Now, and Vincent, I'm talking about all through the game. Maddox Wagner is going to be out on the court a lot here in his junior season. He is going to take a lot of contact. There's going to be bodies on him each and every time down the court. And there's big expectations on him, but I tell you what, he has handled the pace and physicality of this game in an exceptional way tonight.
And we just saw Chesterton pull out the win, 73-55, and that is our Family Express update of the game.
Reeves trying to break the pressure, goes back to Jankowski, and we ran out of time. So Valparaiso will turn it over.
And that is really what the goal has been with the full court presses from East Chicago. finally seeing it work. It really has not worked since that first quarter. And this is exactly the kind of break that East Chicago has needed if they want any chance of getting back in this game.
Snap it to the near side. Jamari Pollard with a man right in his face, no good. Second chance effort. Mukes moves it through. Javon Wofford scores it for 2. He's got 6 points now in the game. Under 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Mukes steals it back. Mukes the floater in the paint. Yes.
And another example of that full court press working for East Chicago. That is 2 turnovers in a row. And now this game is scarily close for Valparaiso.
Timeout taken on the court, 68-60 in favor of the Valparaiso Vikings. We'll step away for a quick timeout. Come on back in 60 seconds for the final minute 49 here from Valparaiso. 8-point lead for the Vikings.
Watching sports? Well, here at PC3 Media, we cover many different sporting events. In the fall, we commentate sports on our podcasts, such as The Blitz and Towing the Rubber. Be sure to check out the PC3 YouTube channel for our sports live streams, and make sure not to miss a moment of the action.
PC3 Media, the Heartland Sports Network. It's a great combo, and we're glad you're with us here on this beautiful Friday evening from Valparaiso.
Do you like watching sports?
I'm Mike Fleischman. That's Vincent LaFollette. We're hanging out with the whole PC3 Media crew. Great opportunity for students to learn about broadcasting and media and production. Big thanks to John Haverth and Rich Jennings for being the advisors and the grown-ups in the room here tonight from Valparaiso. I can't tell you enough about, as an official certified old guy, how great it is to see high school students getting a chance to work with state-of-the-art equipment and doing stuff that can immediately translate into work and opportunities. Media production, especially media production and live streaming and local events, is a big thing. I'm a big believer in it. It's how I make my dollars. So thrilled to be a part of this with PC3 Media.
Yeah, and the opportunity to broadcast and be a part of these games is really what drew me to taking this class, and so many other people in this group with PC3.
Jankowski shoot a couple at the line. First one is up and good.
And we really want to thank you for coming out too.
Oh, it's my pleasure. As I always say, no place I'd rather be on a Friday night, and you got to get me in a gym. Second one is up and good for Jankowski. He's got them both. So Jankowski has matched his point total from the Gary Westside overtime victory for the Vikings. He's got 16 again tonight. Pollard loses the handle. It's stripped away by Reeves. And then Jankowski is fouled.
And right there, a turnover for East Chicago, giving the ball to Valpo. We saw a couple of turnovers by Valpo before the timeout, and it's good to see one go their way as they look to extend their lead now at the free throw line.
This has been a great job by Valparaiso out of this timeout. They have secured trips to the line, 2 consecutive possessions, and Jankowski is putting money in the bank right now as he's up and good on the first.
Yeah, and it looked like they were kind of getting a little frantic trying to keep their lead before the timeout. And they really look like a whole new team now, just completely calm, completely under control of their possessions now.
Floater no good, follow-up no good. Wagner lost the handle, and we'll go the other way.
And speaking of frantic, that was a very rushed possession by East Chicago, but that's what they got to be. They got to be rushed if they want any chance of getting back in this game. However, it does not seem very likely with a 12-point deficit, just over a minute to go.
Valpo turns this one over. It's snapped ahead to Mukes. Mukes with a little floater. Nuh-uh. Who wants this rebound? It's found by Redmond. Redmond is in all sorts of trouble down on the opposite baseline. East Chicago will knock it out of bounds. It'll stay Vikings basketball. I want to give a shout out to Louis Williams, who is on the bench as an assistant coach for Ala Murray in East Chicago. He was a very good player for the Cardinals. That is a great inbound pass, and it's the J.J. Jankowski show here in the fourth quarter. Under a minute to go. Watkins scoops it and scores it. 8 points for Watkins, his first points in the fourth quarter.
And the foul is called. Valpo going back to the line, and once again, we're seeing free throw trouble or foul trouble kicking in as we're getting more free throws to bury East Chicago even deeper.
So to the line goes LaVon Redmond. Redmond, 14 points in this game, 2 of 4 from the free throw line so far for the 5'9" senior. Our Family Express player of the game tonight, you might have already guessed it, folks. It's going to be Maddox Wagner, the 6'8" junior. Wagner right now 11 points. He has been huge on the glass, even bigger in the shot blocking category. He has been an intimidation factor all night long for the Valparaiso Vikings.
Yeah, and a big reason why Valpo has the lead they do is because of Maddox getting some blocks, preventing East Chicago from scoring in the paint, which they took a lot of their attempts from.
LaVon Redmond posts and scores off the assist by Maddox Wagner. 76-62, 24 seconds left. Watkins drains it.
And Watkins with the 3, just too little too late. Unfortunately, it appears for East Chicago, as now Valpo has a 13-point lead.
Redmond cashes it right back in. Pollard for 3, no. The follow, no. Tipped around out of bounds, it will stay. Chicago Central basketball, 4.5 seconds left in this one. The Valparaiso Vikings have this one in the bank and earning interest. East Chicago with a 7-point advantage after the first quarter, but were unable to maintain the momentum. Valparaiso, led by a fantastic performance by Maddox Wagner, comes away with the 78-65 victory over the East Chicago Central Cardinals. For the Valparaiso Vikings, the win makes them 2-0 on the young season. They have yet to play their first game in the Duneland Athletic Conference. They will be at Northridge, taking on the Raiders tomorrow on Saturday. For the East Chicago Central Cardinals, they are 1-1 through their first 2 games of the season, yet to play their first action in the Great Lakes Conference. And they will be at Gary Westside in the gym tomorrow, taking on Farragut Academy out of Chicago. We're going to take a real quick break so I can do a little math. We'll come on back and we'll give you all of our final numbers and thoughts and say farewell here from Valparaiso High School, where the Vikings have improved to 2-0 on the season, defeating the East Chicago Central Cardinals 78-65. This is PC3 Media and the Heartland Sports Network. Actually, I believe we are going to stay right here, and we're going to hear from head coach Ben Liskey as he will talk to Gianna Zikos.
Michael Reeves at 4, Corbin McConaughey at 6, Maddox Wagner at 11, Davon Williams at 15, LaVon Redmond at 18, and J.J. Jankowski led the way with 20. A reminder that
East Chicago is a really, really good basketball team, and they put pressure on you. And I thought our guards stayed pretty composed for most of the game, so I was pretty proud of them.
Well, I know you got to go, so thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
I want to thank you guys. I think you guys do amazing work. Our boy Johnny Clumpy also works with you guys in the off season, and so it's really cool to see what you guys do, and I appreciate you and as you develop in your education pursuits. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Mike Fleischman and Vincent LaFolla back with you to wrap things up here from Valparaiso. 78-65, Ben Liskey victorious here. His second win in 2 chances on the 25-26 season. Northridge is next on the road tomorrow for the Vikings. Final numbers for the Valparaiso Vikings. They improved to 2-0 behind 18 points from LaVon Redmond, including 2 of 6 from the free throw line. 4 points for Nikola Karras. 20 points, a game high for J.J. Jankowski, including 5 of 6 from the free throw line and a couple of made 3-pointers. 4 points for Michael Reeves, 15 for Davon Williams, including 2 made 3s and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Maddox Wagner, our player of the game, scores 11 and is huge in blocks and rebounds tonight. 6 points for Corbin McConaughey, the Vikings, 10 of 13 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, 22 points for Jamari Pollard, including 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 3 points for Makai Gillis for East Chicago. Zayden Johnson, 4 points, including 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 points for Javon Wofford, including 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 11 points for Joseph Watkins Jr., including 4 of 6 from the free throw line. A good finish for Najee Mukes, After just 1 point through the first 3 quarters, Mukes finishes with 12 points, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 1 point for Justin Bennett, 1 of 2 from the free throw line off the bench. And Lax Jackson, 6 points, fouling out in the fourth quarter with 6 points and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Once again, it's Maddox Wagner, your player of the game. Want to say a big thank you to our production crew, Josh and Rich on the production tonight. Luke Powers, Vincent LaFollette, Gianna Zikos have joined me on the broadcast. Henry Sirkowski is our scorekeeper. Jackson Andrew Cayley and Charlie are the cameramen. For everyone at PC3 Media and the Heartland Sports Network, I've been Mike Fleischman. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Once again, your final score. The Valparaiso Vikings defeat the East Chicago Central Cardinals 78-65. This is Valpo basketball right here on PC3 Media and the Heartland Sports Network. Good night, everyone.